All right, welcome everybody. Today's video, we find ourselves out here in kind of rainy Trat. We're very far east in Thailand. We're almost to Cambodia, and we came out here to see something that's unique in Thailand. From what they tell us, this is the only black sand beach in the country. So anyway, and it's also got a bunch of mangrove forests and stuff like that. So we're gonna go and we're gonna walk out through, and hopefully we'll stay dry because it's rainy. But it's rainy season in Thailand, so you never know what you're gonna get. But anyway, it's supposedly like a 500-meter walk through the mangroves, and then we'll be able to see the black sand beach. So when you first come in, you're already greeted with the mangroves. So they got a bunch of different stuff. They got some data plates here, but they're all in Thai. They talk about like the mudskippers, those little fish that can survive on land or in the water. And then this is kind of the entry when you first come in. It has a little lady here. You just sign a guest book and then you can come in. And she says it's about 500-meter walk out to the beach. And it's free. You just have to sign the guest book, and then you're welcome to come in and kind of walk through this area. And then they have kind of some maps and stuff like that up on the wall. And then it says right here, here's 500 meters. Welcome to Black Sand Beach, the only one in Thailand. And it says, don't take the black sand out of the area. So this is something that's nice to do. I mean, it's rainy, and what else are you gonna do? I mean, you're not gonna be really sitting on the beach in this rain. So might as well come and enjoy some stuff like this. And I've seen a few of the mangroves. The mangroves are really, really spectacular to me. I've done a couple of these little mangrove walks. One of them at Koh Chang, where you do like this red bridge out into the mangrove. And that was fantastic. You walk through the mangrove and then you come out on the bay. And then I did one of these mangroves at Koh Lanta down in the south. It was pretty cool seeing the monkeys swimming in the water and all of that. And then we did there was a small little mangrove over in near Khao Lao that I did a beach and the little mangroves. Now the mangroves, they used to come in here and they would cut these up, and they would use the mangrove trees to make charcoal that they would use to cook, like the little meat on a stick, stuff like that. Now the mangroves are, they've modified themselves to where they can survive in the high saltwater content. So they can also survive underwater or above water, just like this. And you see different types of the roots. You see like the cone roots. You see a bunch of the different type of stuff. And then when you're walking along here, you can see little snakes, you'll see the mudskippers, you'll see the little crabs. You'll see various little things living down in the mud. I'm not seeing anything right now. Wonder if the rain has something to do with no crabs. I'm sure I'll see some here in a little bit. And hopefully I won't get ate alive by the mosquitoes. You can see the gnarly root system that they have. And this is quite nice. You can hear the wind rustling through the trees. And they have some of the pictures of the different like shells. There's some big ones down there. I can see some of the big shells, the big snails that they have. There's 3 of them right there, and another big one right over there. Yeah, at the mangrove at Koh Lanta, it was pretty cool seeing they had a couple different types of the little crabs. Some of them had the red claws, some of them had the yellow claws. It was pretty neat looking. Yeah, this is really nice out here. Yeah, it's rainy season. It's mid-July, so it's quite often, I mean, you'll run into rain pretty much every day. This time of year, it's been raining especially hard. It's been raining pretty much all day. So wake up to rain, go to bed to rain, it rains all night. Which eastern Thailand gets a lot more rain than like around Bangkok. So if you go to Koh Chang, you could definitely get rained in for the whole time. And this isn't too far from Koh Chang. This little beach is probably 20 minutes away or so from the ferry. If you're gonna go over to Koh Chang, it's just a nice little drive over here to it. And it's really, really peaceful. There's nobody else out here. And there's a ton of those little snails right over there. Just a bunch of them. Yeah, now that I know what to look for, I see hundreds of them on the ground. Oh, and here's some crabs. Okay, so they have a little black crab over here. See if you can see him. I don't know if he's right underneath that branch. There's a couple of them there now. You can see him moving around a little bit. Yeah, I see a bunch of those little crabs now. There's a big one right over there. Out amongst all those little snails. And this is nice. It's a nice concrete walkway through here. They do that. The wooden ones deteriorate so fast that it gets pretty dangerous really fast. So the concrete will withstand the elements a little bit better. And then you have a little place here out of the weather. And you can see the walkway. Yeah, this is really nice. Has the small trees that are like the little saplings that are growing up in amongst these taller trees. Yeah, at the Koh Lanta one, they're doing a big thing to restore the mangrove. That was kind of one of the projects of King Rama IX. The locals had deforested the mangrove so bad that they were trying to take some steps to preserve them. Oh, the rain's starting to pick up quite a bit now. Ah, don't rain me out. Had to take some shelter here. It's raining pretty hard. So anyway, they have some little data plate here that talks about the mangrove forest, how it the roots protect the coastline, it absorbs carbon dioxide, and it also talks about the biodiversity in it. And it says here, this is kind of interesting, that Phang Nga province has the most mangrove forests in Thailand. And it talks about the little crabs, how they play an important role. They break down the leaves in the mangrove. So all those little black crabs that you see there, they call those the mangrove crab. And you can look around. They got a couple of these little buildings here, which is nice on a rainy day like today. You can see all the little young saplings that are growing up. It's kind of interesting. I got this kind of looks almost like a birch tree. They're like the paper birch. And then all the new growth coming up. Okay, so we made it to the black sand beach itself. This is kind of funny. They have a little black sand spa that you can make yourself. You can go and dig a hole and bury yourself in the sand, rub it on your face, rub it on your feet. And then it talks that there's only 5 of these in the world is what it says here on the sign. There's Taiwan, Malaysia, California, Hawaii, and Thailand. So they must be considered not the black sand, but like from the rock. But this is from a silicate, Fe2O3 3H2O. So it must be something in the sand, some of the chemicals. Now it's probably mostly from the runoff out of the mangroves itself. So here is the beach. You can see the little concrete walkway, they have the wooden bridge, and then they have a little observation point out here. And then over here, at one time the bridge, the little wooden walkway went all along the coast, but it's kind of collapsing down. And it is kind of a little bit rough here also. So hopefully I won't fall through it. It's not very beautiful today with this rain. It looks just kind of like a sandy, muddy beach. Doesn't look like anything spectacular, but it's hard to see in all this rain. And the tide is out. The tide is probably halfway out or so. Has a little viewpoint up there. I don't think it'll be worth climbing up to the top of the tower today. Won't be able to see much different than this. And it looks like they're drilling something out there. Wonder if they're going to build a new pier. And then the walkway there. Now this is kind of anticlimactic getting out here. That's kind of a cool looking tree that they built a little walkway right around. And this goes over the old wooden bridge. We'll walk over there towards that little observation tower. This is pretty nice with this little channel going up into the mangrove. And these gnarly trees. Yeah, this is cool. The rain is a big drawback, but hey, into everyone's life a little rain must fall, right? I wish they had a little bit more in English, but almost everything is in Thai. They're talking about the tree, the Grantum J. Koenig. So it looks like it has a seed pod of some kind on it. All right, so I did decide to climb up to the top of this observation tower. It's 5-story, and you can see kind of down onto the beach and then into the mangroves. The mangroves are so thick, it's kind of hard to see down in there. These trees are quite tall. Didn't realize the mangroves were as tall as they are until you're way up here looking down on them. Yeah, that's cool. And this is just a gigantic observation tower. We'll look up the beach this way. Maybe the Thais come over here. Maybe they have field trips for the kids and stuff. It's hard to say. It seems like such a waste if nobody's using it. And then you can see down the coastline. It's not very beautiful with all that rain, but you at least get the idea of what it looks like. Okay, let's go back down and let's walk through some more here. Well, you can see why it's black sand beach. Why it's side down or the black sand. And it's all the nutrients and stuff that's washed out of this mangrove. It looks like it's got kind of a rocky sand underneath it. Yeah, this little mangrove forest is quite nice. The bridge is okay. The old wooden part is just absolutely disintegrating. I was a little worried about falling through it and falling down into the mud, which would have been probably made it interesting content, but nothing I want to film. So yeah, this just stretches up in here about 500 meters or so, and it's nice to see. Unfortunately, the rain has been coming down, so it's kind of spoiled it a little bit. But it's definitely worth a look. Let's keep looking a little bit more and then we'll go out. This is a nice view of all those roots down in the mangrove. Now, mostly what you see down there are those little snails. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. That's cool. So that's the Mudskipper fish. And you can see him. He can just skip right along on the mud. Yeah, he's a big one too. Yeah, I've seen the smaller ones. I haven't seen one that big before. But they can, they have like their little fins, they use them as little legs, and they can just kick across the mud, and they can just sit out and breathe regular air. That's pretty neat. Yeah, with the rain, we don't see as many crabs, just see those big snails. And I've only seen one bird. Usually all these mangroves has a bunch of birds flying around, but just one in this rain. And another look down into the mangrove. Yeah, the forest is really nice. The beach was pretty just blah, nothing exciting. And it's even worse with all the rain. I was hoping to see like black sand itself, but it was just the kind of the black mud out of this mangrove. One more look down into the mangroves. It's kind of wild to hear all these seed pods and stuff falling out of the trees. It's kind of like Castaway, where he heard all the coconuts falling at night. That's kind of what you hear here. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, not very many crabs, but they're kind of underwater with all this rain that's been coming down. Saw a few of them. There were some bigger ones that were probably about 4 inches long or so, big black ones. But they're really skittish, and they see you and they jump right into the water or into their little mud hole. Let's see one of the little black crabs right underneath the tree root, and another one right over there. You can really detect motion, so they either jump in the water or they freeze up whenever they see somebody moving. Oh, there he is. He's got kind of some cool looking eyes. They're like almost neon eyes. And he's just doing crab business. Another little crab there. Small little guy. There's a few others floating, crawling around. All right, guys, so that finishes up our little video here at the black sand beach over here at Trat. It's at Laem Makham or something like that. It's the NG that I can't really say. So anyway, there's a pier and stuff like that that's not too far from here, and the little town itself. And this, the black sand was just, the mangroves was kind of fun. I enjoy doing stuff like this. So definitely worth the price of admission, which was free. And you get to walk through here and see some stuff. Unfortunately, the heavy rain started coming down and kind of ruined a little bit of it, but it's rainy season, so you never know what's gonna happen. It could rain at any time. So anyways, if you liked the video, make sure you click like and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you like stuff like this, leave me a comment down below also. And I'll pin a comment about one of the other mangrove forests that I've visited. And so you can take a look at that one down in the comments section. And leave me a comment if you want me to do something different, if you have any ideas for a video or whatever. And if I can, I will do my best to make a video of it. So what you can do is probably the most help for me is subscribe to my channel. That's what helps my channel grow, and helps it to where I can make more content and all of that, and makes it to where YouTube promotes my videos. So subscribe and like and share if you would like, and leave me a comment. And until next time, guys, remember, life is a journey. Enjoy.